making his way up onto the beach right now. One of the female Siku is already on the beach, and then we have another female in the back named Coco. They might be a little curious about the animals names. They do really so you're talking the ancient village of Gamble, Alaska, where these guys came from. Siku means ice, and Oko means blubber. Then you also might know a male walrus by another name, because we have Jacko the walrus. He played in the movie 50 First Dates, and he starred alongside Adam Sandler Drew Barrymore. If you have seen that movie, it is in fact your male walrus, right here beside me. That plays the and our females also made a brief appearance in the movie as well. Now all of our animals are 14 years old. They've been with us since they were about 2 weeks old. Walruses have a pretty wide lifespan, they live anywhere from 16 to 30 years. In the wild, they do have to worry about predators, which can be Eskimos, killer whales, and polar bears, and they do also have to compete for their resources. Here in Human Care, we like to think that they can make it towards that 30-year end. They will get excellent pet care, they get their food handed to them daily, and they don't have to worry about predators here. Now, as you might be able to tell, our male walrus is significantly larger than our female. He weighs about 2,200 pounds, and actually can reach weight of about 4,000 pounds, whereas our female weighs about 1,500 pounds each, and can be weight about 300 pounds. Now, right away, when you look at these guys, you might notice two main characteristics, those toughness and those whiskers right there on their face. You also might notice that Siku here doesn't have any tusk. That's not because she's female. Both male and female walruses develop tusks after about a year of age. However, Siku had a recurring tusk infection when she was younger, so a vet staff went ahead and removed those tusks for her to prevent further infection. Now, these tusks do serve the animals several different purposes. One is it helps them in social and dominant displays. Typically, the animal with the longest tusk is the most dominant. Now, the second way that they use their tusks is to help haul them out onto land or ice floes. Not all the ice floes in the wild have a nice little ledge like our artificial ice floe does. They can be as high out of the water as our edges. It's really hard for them to get those big bodies up and out of the water onto that ice. So what they can do is they can jab those tusks in the ice and help haul their bodies up. Now, the last way that they can use their tusks is to help them create or maintain breathing holes in the pack ice. These guys are mammals, therefore they do need air to survive. So when they're diving underneath the ice, either just swimming around or searching for food, they do have to have a way to get air. So what they can do is they swim upside down, stick those tusks up through the ice to create or enlarge a hole for them to breathe from. Now, the second characteristic you might notice about them are those whiskers on their face. They have about 400 to 700 whiskers, which are also called vibrissae. These serve the animal an important function as well. When these guys dive at depths of 200 to 300 feet deep searching for their food, their eyesight doesn't do them that much good down there because it is too dark and murky. So what they do is they use those whiskers as little fingers or feelers to help them feel along the bottom for their food. Now, those whiskers are actually very sensitive. They each have their own nerve and blood supply, and they're about 10 times as strong as dog and cat whiskers are. Now, here at Discovery Kingdom, we do stimulate our walruses both mentally and physically, and one of the most important ways that we do that is through training. We train these guys with a method called operant conditioning. Now, simply what that means is when the animal does something that we like, we give them something that they like in return. When the animal does something that we don't like, we simply ignore it. The only form of discipline that we use here is a timeout. I'm sure you guys might be familiar with that concept. But for any undesirable behavior, we might simply take a step back, discontinue eye contact, or even walk in the back for several minutes. We find this works really well with the animals because they're such social creatures. Now, a lot of the behaviors that you're seeing out here the animals doing right now are what we call their show behaviors. Although they are much larger than sea lions, they are actually capable of doing behaviors that the sea lions is capable of doing over at Sea Lion Stadium. They don't always do the same behaviors with as much agility and speed as the sea lions do, but they do give it their best shot. Because of their body size, most of their behaviors tend to take place in the water or up on the beach, like you're seeing right now, but they do have a hard time getting their bodies up and out of the water completely. We can lower that ball about halfway, and they can touch it with their noses, but their body will not leave the water. Now, Siku is on that ice floe, so I'm going to quiet down for just 1 second so she can hear her trainer just a little bit better out there.
No.